guys, this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm here for another one of our favourite projects revisited. So we're doing the favourite projects from 2022 and we're just kind of revisiting them. So one of the other things that I really enjoyed doing in 2022 was when we played with the packaging and we made stuff from the packaging. So I've dug out a few more packaging pieces here. And I thought we could just come along and do some other things with the packaging again. I have to say, I seem to have a lot of really lovely packaging before. And I've obviously used it because I now struggle to find kind of very much nice packaging at all. But I had this one, which this is from some Prima Flowers. And inside it had like an inlay of this vellum scripty kind of ledger type sheet. So how lovely is that? And obviously that just fits on there. Obviously, I don't need to necessarily keep it with that. I could put it with something else, you know, if I fancied. Or I could tear it up and kind of mix it up, you know, amongst them. But I just absolutely love how that is. So, I mean, what we could do, and I'm not sure whether this is going to work, but I'm kind of wondering whether we could fold the top over to just thicken it slightly. And then actually just stitch it on like a top loading pocket. I don't know whether that would work, but yeah, I do wonder whether we could do that. Obviously it would be quite thin, so I'm kind of thinking, oh, would it be a bit too flimsy? But hey, hopefully it wouldn't. So yeah, we can definitely give that a try. Now I've brought along some of my faux stamped images here that I thought that we could use with some of these bits as well. I don't know whether my eyes are going weird or whether this has got yellow blotches from the printer. I think it's probably just my eyes, I don't know. Now, these I have not tea dyed or coffee dyed or anything like that. I've just printed these so far on just, you know, copy paper thickness. It's just slightly thicker than copy paper thickness. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by just quickly coffee dyeing these so that we've got these ready to use. And these are my new set of stamped images. So I think they're set 3, but yeah, they're in my shop, so I will try and remember to link them. But if I don't, you know, you'll be able to find them obviously by just typing in the search box, you know, faux stamped images. So I don't need to obviously coffee dye the back. I'm just going to be coffee dyeing the front of these because obviously the back, you know, they're going to be kind of glued down, so we're not really going to see the back. So I'm just, yeah, coffee dye those. And I know I've talked about this lots, you know, before, but yeah, this is just a little cup of coffee, black coffee, that I just keep beside the desk, you know, that I can then just very quickly and easily just coffee dye pieces as and when I need them. So, you know, this just saves me doing like a big batch. I can just do it kind of as and when, which, you know, it's just a big time saver really. So yeah, let's just go around all of these. You know, and obviously you don't have to coffee dye these, you know, you could print these on coloured paper, you know, or, you know, maybe you would quite like to just use them white and I think would be fine, but I thought coffee dyed would be rather nice. So I'm just going to dry these off quickly. And I know I have mentioned this before, I am able to coffee dye, obviously as you can see, after printing. Now this is since using the instant ink. When I used to buy the ink, I did not have the ability to do this because I do get lots of questions where, you know, wondering whether I coffee dye before or after printing. And I do always try and explain, previously when I was buying ink, obviously I must have been using, you know, cheaper quality ink cartridges because I would buy like Shop's own brand. I couldn't really get away with coffee dyeing, the ink would smudge. But since using instant ink, it's obviously a much better quality of ink, and therefore I can actually coffee dye after printing, which, you know, that's great because it obviously makes it a lot easier to use. And I don't know about you guys, if I've done a big batch of coffee dyeing, I like to then hoard those coffee dyed papers. I don't want to run them through the printer because if the printer jams and, you know, I have to tear the paper out, I've lost my coffee dyed piece. I mean, how ridiculous is that? But yeah, that's what goes through my head. So this one here, I'm going to do as we said, and I'm going to just run a stitcher down there, and I'm going to then just stitch around the edges, I think, and put it onto that piece. Now, before I do that, I'm just wondering whether I'd like to paint this or anything. Because obviously I might like to get rid of here where it says Prima Flowers. You know, I don't necessarily want that on there. Let me just mop this up because now I've got obviously some coffee dye on the desk. So I'm thinking we'll go for like a vintage feel this time, because when I did this last time, I think we used green and blue and things, and we went for quite bright colours. So I would quite like to tone these right down and do a much more vintagey kind of feeling project. So yeah, oh, she says tone it down. I mean, look at how bright this is. What on earth am I talking about? That's definitely not toned down, is it? Yeah, no, it's really bright. But never mind, we will, yeah, we'll persevere. Persevere. Right. Oops. Okay. So I could have probably done with some white to mix in with this, but never mind. Oh, I'm just painted this on with my tissue, and as you can see, not making a great job of that there. Now I have got some gold, and I know this sounds a little bit sort of strange, but I'm going to put some gold over this. Okay. And I'm just going to mop this in. So again, just going to use that tissue. And hopefully we're going to get some touches of gold rather than just a whole smearing, if you see what I mean. So, and this bit where it's kind of patchy now in the middle, I mean, actually has turned out to be my favourite part. So maybe I should rub it a bit more everywhere else. But I was going to say, it doesn't matter because that's not really going to be visible. But actually, I do quite like how it looks. So I'm just going to kind of, yeah, rub the rest of it a bit. So well, I quite like that. Yeah, let's go for that. So yeah, quite liking how that looks. Obviously I have still got the Prima Flowers bit all visible, but hey, I'm just going to, yeah, just go for it anyway. So I'm just going to put that to one side. Now, do we want to do anything on this? I don't think so just yet. So I'm just going to put that to one side. So I've also got this packaging. Now I haven't even taken this out yet. I mean, I have used one or two of the die cuts, but I haven't taken the packaging out to use. So we've got this one. Now, again, I thought this was quite a nice base because I quite like these chevron-y type shapes. On the back, I have got obviously little pictures of the die cuts that came in the pack. So, I mean, that's an alternative. You could use that side. Oh, I'm now a bit stuck because now I'm like, oh, perhaps that side's better. Oh, no, I'm going to keep this side. So what I would do is then either just gesso over here or, you know, back this onto something plain so that you could journal on this. So in fact, let's just get something plain now. And what I'm thinking is, because I've used, or I've bought to use, some of this plain paper. Now I received this gorgeous little 6x6 pad in a Happy Mail, and it's just perfect for backing tags and things like that. So yeah, this is going to work perfectly for this. So I can just literally back this straight onto there. So just go around the edge like that. Okay. I mean, obviously, if you didn't want to back this, you could gesso over it or something like that for the, you know, for journaling space. I think in the previous video, I didn't bother backing it because the packaging that I used in the previous one was quite thick. This particular piece, this is a Fabrica die cuts pack. It just happens that it's quite a thinnish piece of card. So that's why I'm kind of keen to back this, because it actually is not particularly thick. So, you know, the backing it's just kind of reinforcing it really and making it, you know, a bit more sturdy. So I do like a sturdy tag. Okay, so got that one. Now I'm just wondering whether we need to back this. I don't think we do, because to be honest, this one's actually quite sturdy anyway. But obviously I would gesso over that, you know, when I wanted to actually use that. So yeah, let's go for this one. And then, like I say, I did also bring along this. Now, this one is the cover of that 6x6 paper pad. And again, I really like the colours. Just wondering which way I want to cut this. So I'm thinking, do I want to cut it down the middle where I'd then get a bit of, you know, all of the colours? Or would I rather kind of, you know, chop off one of the colours and just go for Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So it seems a bit of a cop-out, I know, but I think it would be better, you know, with just the one sort of colour combination. So I'm just going to get rid of the pink from down the side there. Okay, so like that. Okay, oh, I love how that is. And actually, I quite like that hole to the side. I know that sounds strange. I would never have put the hole to the side, but actually I quite like it. Now, this has got one of those little plastic pieces, you know, the little semicircle bits that go around it to hold the paper pad closed. So I'm just going to try and peel that off, only because obviously this is going to be a little bit resistant to paint or anything else. So as you can see, I've peeled it off and a little bit of the kind of paper came off with it. Again, you know, doesn't bother me. It's fine. I don't mind that that's happened. So yeah, we can use that. Now I'm just wondering, shall we use this as it is or shall we paint over it? I don't know. My painting's not been very successful so far with that bright colour, has it? So yeah, I have got these paints. Now I've got this sage green. So I'm thinking, should we use some sage green on this one? Or I've got lilac. Oh, decisions. Let's go for the sage green. So again, just going to pour this out here. Okay. Oops. Oh my goodness, I've got a lot there. Right, going to use a wipe this time. So let's just go round. And obviously, as you can see, you know, I'm kind of like going around the edge. And then I'm going to cut this out away from that backing afterwards. So yeah, we're just kind of, you know, getting it edged up like that. Okie dokie. So, you know, I'm not trying to cover up completely like the original packaging, but just get rid of obviously quite a bit, you know, like if it's got a logo or anything like that, trying to get rid of the logo, but not necessarily everything else. So yeah, quite like that. Now I am wondering actually whether that sage green might be quite nice on here with some stenciling. So I've got a couple of stencils here. So I've got this one, which is a new stencil, which I'd actually bought quite a long time ago, but I hadn't got round to using. This is a Prima stencil. It is called Documented. So, yeah, have not used this. So this is a live opening. Yeah, this is going to be a first time using. Okay. But, yeah, I'm thinking this stencil, maybe in the sage green, might be quite nice on here. So, let me pick which portion of this stencil that I want to have. So I think probably here. Now, I'm not great with stencils, I've got to say. So this is just wing and a prayer type stuff that I'm going to manage to do an okay job. I think I find generally a kind of card method better. So I'm hoping this, oh my goodness, no, I have made a terrible job of this. So yeah, please ignore my stenciling technique. Again, I probably would have been better actually to go in with a brush and stipple this. Can you see what's happened? It's just kind of smudged on. So I'm just going to wipe this back off because this has got sort of a slightly glossy sort of surface where it was obviously the cover of that. So now I'm thinking, let me wipe the back of this stencil. Let me try maybe with a brush. This is quite a closed, oh, what do you call it? Like a closed stencil, if you see what I mean. The pattern is not particularly spacey. I don't know whether I'm even describing that right, to be honest, but yeah, I feel like there's not that much room for, you know, getting in. So who knows? Let's try this. I mean, again, if this doesn't work out, we can just wipe it off with the wipe. So that's a bonus of doing slightly glossier packaging. Is, you know, it's a bit more forgiving because you can just wipe stuff off. Yeah. Okay. I mean, like I said, I'm trying to keep some of the base colours because I actually really enjoyed the look of the base colours. Oh my goodness, what is going on with my stenciling? That just looks appalling, doesn't it? Oh. Do Do you know, I'm now thinking we're going to have to just do it with a, you know, distress ink pad, I think, because, yeah, I'm not making a good job of this with the paint, am I? Yeah, right, let's get rid of that paint before I dab it into everything else. Okay, right, let's get rid of that. Okay, now this is why you should always try things really before doing a video, but why I never seem to learn is beyond me. Yep, I never do. Never, ever, ever learn. Right, we're going to go back in. So third time lucky this. Right, let's dab that stencil off. And just clean the front of it. Okay. Right, going to put it down again. So this is, yeah, third time lucky. Keep your fingers crossed that this is going to work. Actually thinking what would be best is, you know, the brushes, which I went through a phase of yeah, applying my ink with those makeup brushes, and now I'm not even too sure where they are. Oh, it's going to be one of those videos, so I apologise in advance. I'm so sorry. Right, this has got black soot on it, so it's going to have, you know, contamination, I'm afraid. But, yeah, let's have a look and see. This might not even go through. So, so far, this has been pretty unsuccessful, hasn't it, this particular stencil? I mean, I'm thinking maybe gesso on the card would be best for this. Oh, there we go. Well, that's a bit better. I mean, it's not obviously very visible. So I haven't done a great job, but let's put a bit up here, shall we? Okay. Okie dokie. Just smoosh that. Okay. Like that. Yay! Well, at least we finally got some success, because I was just feeling embarrassed, to be honest. What a rubbish job I was making of that. So, I mean, I'm not saying it's great, but I mean, it at least has gone on now resembling some sort of script, whereas before it was just resembling a splodge. Obviously, it wasn't supposed to resemble a splodge. Right, okay, so we've got that one. Right, I'm going to cut this one out. So what I could do is even cut this onto here, and then we've extended it. So yeah, we could do that. I mean, obviously I would kind of need to reinforce this, because otherwise, you know, it's got like a sort of weak point here where this suddenly goes thin. But I could maybe reinforce that with something. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. So let's have a look and see what I've got laying around on the desk paper-wise. I've got some of this. This was when I was making my Great Expectations kit. So yeah, this is not the final colour, but this was just one of the colours that I was kind of trying out. So I'm thinking, like, if we put this here, it would just reinforce, you know, where I said that we've got that weak point now. So yeah, let's glue that one down. I had such a lot of fun when I did the, you know, the packaging before. So I hope these turn out nice, because otherwise I'll be like really gutted. You know, that it went from something so lovely to just making such a meal of it and not doing a good job at all. Okay. Yeah, that's really nice, isn't it? Now, shall I try and do a bit more of this, you know, this new stamp thing that I've got? Stencil, sorry, not stamp. So, yeah, let's go in again. And I can't remember, I'm afraid, even where I got this. Like I said, I've actually had it for a little while, but this is just the first time that I've actually come to use it. So, yeah, I don't know whether I maybe got it from Amazon. It must have been, I think, one of those things that, you know, had a bit of a delay in getting it. Oh, that's not great. Yeah, that was not very good stenciling, but never mind. Right, let's just go over this bit. Okay. Okay, well, it's not too bad, to be honest. It will do. So yeah, let me just cut this edge bit down. Okay, shall we round the corners of this as well? Oops. Might even just round the two. I know that's just something I seem to be doing lately. It's rounding the corner. Sorry, I'm just moving this up because I'm not sure whether it was very well in frame. Right, okay, let's take my faux stamped pieces. So, yeah, wondering about this one actually. So let's just take this. Okie dokie. Oops. So I hope everyone's having a good day, maybe doing some crafting, having a nice time. I hope you're, you know, enjoying the series and finding it inspirational. Maybe not today with that terrible stenciling, but maybe you've enjoyed something else so far. So yeah, right. I'm just wondering whether we could have this coming out somewhere as well. Maybe something like that. Okay, let's glue this one down. Yeah, I mean, I'm just hoping this is going to look very different to the ones that we did previously. You know, I would be disappointed if they turned out kind of like the same. So that's why obviously I'm going for these kind of much more vintage colours, because like I say, the last ones, they were very, very vibrant, which I absolutely loved. You know, I really did love them. I mean, they're probably more my type of thing actually than this, but I didn't want to have like a repeat and, you know, have it looking kind of the same. So, you know, hopefully these are going to look quite different. I've just got some lace here, so I'm wondering if we could have some lace. And I'm wondering actually whether we can incorporate one or two of the die cut pieces. So let's just pull a couple of these in. So these were Primo ones, I think, weren't they? This was obviously the packaging that we have been using, or, you know, that we are using here. So, and I know I've talked about this before, but obviously this has got those kiss cut flowers, and oh, I don't know why, I just really struggle to use kiss cut pieces when I've kiss cut them, but when they're part of a set, you know, that I've bought and they've been sold this way, I don't really mind them so much. So yeah, it's just weird. I think when I've kiss cut them, I just feel like it looks like I couldn't cut them out properly. But when I've bought them and they're intentionally kiss cut, then I feel like that's acceptable because everybody knows that I didn't cut them out. I don't know. That's just a weird thing to say probably, but oh, quite liking how this is looking. And I will be inking this one up and possibly stitching around on the sewing machine as well. So I'm just going to glue this down. Okie dokie. Yeah, I mean, hopefully they're just going to look very different, you know, to the first ones. I mean, you know, I may not like them as much as I liked the first ones. I have to say, I think I've already got rid of both of the first ones that I made now. I think I put one in a kit, you know, in one of the kits that I did over Christmas. Oh no, I put it in the old paper bag journal. I've just realised and remembered. Yeah, so that was kind of like a bit of a, oh, do I want to get rid of it, you know, for me, because I really, really loved them. But yeah, I was very, very good, and I did get rid of it. That was one. I think that was the blue one. And then I've got a funny feeling that the green one that I loved, I put in a kit. So yeah, I did end up getting rid of both. Which now in hindsight, I'm kind of like, oh, surprised that I did actually. Because I do remember loving them so much, you know, that actually I'm quite surprised that I did manage to get rid of them. Right, I've just got this label piece, and again, this is in the faux stamped images. So I'm wondering if we could have that, and maybe with some lace or something kind of just beneath would be quite nice. And then in the die cuts, I've just got this other yellow flower, which maybe we could put that sort of up there as well. So let's pop this one down. Oops. I do like that hole to the side. I think it's quite nice. It's not like the obvious choice, is it? So it's just adding like a different dimension, I think. And I will probably put something through there, but I should probably stitch this first, because otherwise I'm going to struggle to, you know, stitch around it once I've poked something through that hole. So yeah, let's put this here. Okay. Yeah, right, now I'm going to hot glue these flowers down so that they've got a bit of a lump going on, you know, so that they're sticking out a little bit, is what I'm saying. So yeah, let's put that on there. Oh, that's so pretty, isn't it? I mean, again, yellow is a colour I don't particularly use very often, and I know I've talked about this loads of times, but yeah, I don't know why really, because actually whenever I do use it, it looks gorgeous, but it's just one of those colours that just, yeah, I don't end up really using. But like I say, whenever I do use it, I'm like, oh, I must use yellow more, because it's actually really lovely. But I think we've all got our go-to colours, haven't we, and our go-to styles, and then deviating from that is sometimes hard, isn't it? You know, we get used to what we get used to using, and then it's kind of hard to move away from that. Right, this lace I'm going to just hot glue down like that. Okie dokie. So just across there. Now I'm going to just ink around this so that it looks nice and vintage on the edges. So yeah, I'll just go around there with the, and this is walnut stain. It's just the walnut stain, you know, distress ink. Okay, like that. Okie dokie. Right. Oh my goodness, how gorgeous does that look? So I'm going to take this to the sewing machine and then we'll do this. So yeah, we'll put that one to one side. Right, let's move on to this one, which now I'm like, oh, what was I thinking? Why have I done that to this? Not sure. Right, wondering whether I could use a bit more of this, just because, you know, this is obviously, like I say, this is where I was trying to get my Great Expectations papers right. So if I could use some of this up, it would be, you know, a good thing to get some stuff off my desk, really. Oh, that just looks awful, doesn't it? It's going down the Halloween kind of route with the, yeah, with the orange. I find orange is sometimes a tricky colour because it does sometimes end up looking a bit Halloweeny. Right, I'm just going to take this piece here. I'm just tearing this rather than cutting it. I'm just going to pop this one down. And because what I want to do is put something underneath, so I've got a bit of interest going on underneath, like that. Okay. And then I'd like to put something stamped on the top as well, I think. So let's put this one down here. I am now regretting using that orangey colour. Like, what was I thinking? Why did I think that would be nice? Well, I thought it was going to go more brown. I did not realise really that it was going to be quite so orange in colour. So yeah, I'm kind of regretting it a bit. I might have to really ink it and make it look more brown, I think, because I feel like I'm not really going to be very happy with this. So let's go in with our walnut stain and just really ink around here. Okay. And, you know, I'm inking all around this. I don't know how relevant this or how necessary this is, because obviously this is going to be under the vellum. So, you know, this might be kind of not necessary, but yeah, let's kind of ink it up anyway. Well, it's looking a bit better, isn't it? Because it was looking, yeah, it was looking very orange. Oh, yeah, I am preferring that. Right, okay, so then I'm going to take, I think I'm going to do this one. What do I want this one? again, now I'm wishing I had bought along more of these. Now, in that same set, you also get these large stamped images. But they are, yeah, they're going to be too big for this, aren't they? I know. I mean, you're probably thinking, well, yeah, that is too big. Why is she even looking at that? But I'm just checking. Because, you know, it might be okay. Like, if I was to tear this down, I realise it's going to cover a lot of that vellum, but it might be okay. Let's have a look. I mean, she is pretty big, but could have her on there, actually. Or perhaps we'll have her on here. Again, I'm going to coffee dye her because she will look very different once she's been coffee dyed. So let's just quickly paint her so she can be drying. Now, I'm also wondering whether I should coffee dye that vellum piece that was inside the packaging. Okay. Just go over her with 2 lots of coffee, just because I thought, oh, actually, she still looks quite pale. So, yeah, I've just done her twice now with the coffee. Just put her to one side. Right, I'm going to try this vellum. Okay. Right. The only thing is with vellum, actually, when you coffee dye, it does have a tendency to go a bit curly. So, yeah. But that's fine. I don't really mind. Okay, right. Just going to quickly dry that vellum. I'm now thinking I should iron this, probably. Oh, no, I think I've mucked it up. This is where I wish I had not coffee dyed it at all. Oh, dear. Going very crinkly. Plus, I think I'm dabbing it straight into the coffee again. So, yeah, as soon as I'm drying it, it's re-wetting it. Right. Straighten all those corners out and the edges out. Okay. Right. Okay. Okie dokie. Right, looking good. So, I'm going to, stitch across here and then we're going to stitch it onto here. But I'm thinking before I do that, maybe put down the piece that we're going to have as the focal point. So I'm going to have, did I say this or did I say this? Let's try this one. So again, just going to tear this down. Okay. Oh, and I do apologise if it's a bit shadowy again. It's really drab, horrible day again, so I've just got to have the light on. So yeah, I really can't kind of do much about it because without the light on, it's so dark you wouldn't really see anything very much, you know. So yeah, I do apologise if it's annoying and it's, you know, very dark, but hopefully it's better than not seeing anything. Who knows? You may think it would be better to see nothing. Yeah, judging by some of the crafting that's gone on, but hopefully you are liking to see rather than not liking to see. Right, got these blue flowers. Do you know, I'm thinking, I wonder if we could use a bit more yellow on here. So let's just take that yellow. I mean, that was not what I was planning on doing, to be honest, having the yellow, but it does look quite pretty, doesn't it? So yeah, let's just have a look and see. I'm thinking actually maybe a bit of yellow up here. Maybe this here, like that. Well, that's quite pretty, isn't it? And then it's going to be just stitched around like the edge and things. And we could probably have some yellow lace or something down the bottom. I'd quite like to have something coming out here behind this as well. So let me just see what I've got laying around. Got some of my header pieces. So these are just from my vintage header printable. You get a page with them kind of shrunk down. So thinking we could have this maybe kind of like just coming out behind her. So like that. Or maybe on this side. Okay, right. This is not helping because it's very curly, but let's get this glued down. I think I maybe was being over ambitious, thinking I was going to get 3 pieces done, to be honest, because I'm clearly dragging my feet. This is not going very quickly, is it? I'm, yeah, seeming to be taking forever, so I do apologise. Sometimes I just obviously underestimate how long it's going to take me to do stuff. And this just appears to be one of those days, so yeah. Right, let's get that one down. And then we're going to stitch across here before I stitch it on, if you see what I mean. And then we're going to stitch it onto here as a top loading pocket. Yeah, some yellow here, I think. Oh, I think that will look quite nice, yeah. Now, do we want any other yellow? Let's just ink this up. Or maybe that one. Yeah, maybe that one up there. Okay, so I'm just going to, yeah, glue this one down. Okay, I mean, this has gone off at a completely different direction to how I expected. Well, I didn't really have a plan or any expectations of how it was going to go, but yeah, if you'd have said to me I was going to be using yellow, I'd been like, really? No way. But yeah, right, so I'm going to do the stitching on this and then we'll kind of do more on that. So that's that one. Okay, last one. So we're going to bring this one in. We're going to have this lady on here. Now she could do with tearing down a bit more, so I'm just going to take her down a bit more. She is quite soggy. I've put her on my hot glue gun hoping that was going to dry her off. It's not really dried her off as much as she needed. But sometimes, you know, that's a kind of quick, easy way to dry off instead of getting the heat tool, which I just always, you know, hate using that because it's probably really boring to watch. And, you know, it is quite noisy, obviously. Right. But I'm going to have to because she's not going to want to glue down, otherwise she's too soggy. So, yeah, let's just quickly dry her. Okay, right. Oh, I love her, don't you? She looks really, really, really nice on there, doesn't she? Yeah, really love her. Right, let's just ink this flower. Again, only because it was when I put it down that I thought, oh, it's got similar blues to up there. So I'm just kind of thinking, oh, perhaps we could use that. And it would just kind of cover up where we had that weird bit of text there. So it's got like a double use. Right, let's just take this. So there's like a ticket piece, or a label piece, perhaps I should say. So yeah, let's just cut that out. Okay. There we go. Right. Oh my goodness, that's gorgeous, isn't it? Oh, I'm loving that there, actually. That's really nice. Okay. Right, so I mean this one is just like hardly anything has gone on to here, but already it's transforming this piece, isn't it? So, you know, goes to show sometimes you really just don't need much, and you know, it can just transform completely. So yeah, going to stick her on. I mean, I'm not even putting like anything behind her or anything. She's just going on just her. And she was from those larger stamped images that, you know, there's the pages of the larger ones. So, you know, they come on the same set as the smaller ones. But yeah, she is from the larger ones. So, but doesn't she look great on there? Love how she looks on there. So I'm just going to smooth her out because obviously she's been coffee dyed and she probably could have done with ironing. So she's a bit crinkly at the moment. Okay. Like that. Okay, and then the flowers here, so we could even have maybe some other flowers at the top, which, you know, to disguise that writing. So there's some more here. Let me just ink this up. It's a bit weird with those stems, isn't it? Doesn't look great I don't really like those flowers, to be honest. They don't look very nice, do they? They're not the nicest looking flowers, to be honest. Right, let's just ink up these leaves. I mean, it might be that none of this is going to look very good, but I mean, we could try her with a yellow one, but I wasn't really picturing having yellow on here, although it doesn't look as bad as I thought it might. There's a tiny yellow flower here. Let's just try that one. Oh, do you know, maybe the yellow ones are actually what was needed after all. Which again just goes to show, doesn't it, that, you know, sometimes it's the things you least expect. I mean, I thought the blue, because of course we've got the blue up here, but actually the yellow kind of looked better, didn't it? I don't know why, whether the blue was maybe a bit too similar. I think it was just I didn't really like those blue flowers, to be honest. They're not the nicest, you know, looking flowers. They're a bit rubbishy with that shape. So yeah, right, okay. Now again, don't know whether this really needs stitching. It doesn't probably really need it, but yeah, we could perhaps have some. Maybe have a bit of lace on here, just because I like, you know, like the appearance of lace. Do you want it running up the side, maybe across there? Or probably just across the bottom. So yeah, I'm just going to kind of put that down there like that. Right, now I will just ink around the edge of this as well. Again, this is slightly sheeny, so you know, it's probably not the best surface to be taking the ink, but it's okay. And you know, if it's wiped off a bit by the time I stitch it, I can always do it again. So yeah, it's not the end of the world. Okay, right, I'm going to take it all to the sewing machine and then I'll be back. Okay, so I'm back from the sewing machine. So as usual, I then had to rethread the bobbin and things. So oh, it's never as easy as just go to the sewing machine, is it? And yeah, it's always got something a bit more. Right, so we've got this one. Now, I've used black thread, as you can probably see, which I just think makes a really lovely contrast. And of course, you know, the faux stamped images are black. So, you know, it kind of pulls it all together by using the black thread. So I'll just cut this around here. Okie dokie. Right. And the last one. So, and this one turned out really pretty in the end. So yeah, really loving how this one looks now. Now obviously on the backs you've still got the back of the packaging, and so you would want to, you know, gesso over them or something if you were using these as kind of tags, which is, you know, what they've kind of been, I suppose, made into. But they're all very pretty, aren't they? And they all look quite different, even though they're all using the, you know, the faux stamped images and the, you know, the yellow flowers. They all have quite a different look. Now, oops, I've forgotten to put the other yellow flower on here. There, that must be it. Yep. So we're going to put a yellow flower down on that one as well. And then I'm just going to finish them off with some sort of, what's the word that I'm looking for? Like a topper, you know. Yeah. Some sort of topper or something to finish them off. So this one, maybe even just go with this lace. It would look quite pretty, wouldn't it? So yeah, perhaps I'll just take this down a bit. Okay. Oh, I've got the lovely dog in here with me now. So yeah, she is being a good girl. She's in her little dog bed. I can't see her from here, and I know I've said that before, but yeah, I can't actually see her from my desk, but she is in there and she's being a really good girl. So yeah. So yeah, just finished that one off with that. And then just going to put this flower on here, and then this little bit of lace that I snipped off, we could just have across here as well. So yeah, that would look quite pretty, won't it? So let's use, I'm going to use the Fabri-Tac here, just to attach that to the vellum. So let's just pull my glasses down. Okey-dokey, like that. Okay. There we go. And then, yeah, pop this yellow flower down. Like that. Oh, how pretty does that look? Love how that one looks. Okay, then we've got this one. Now, this one I'm thinking, let's put one of those lovely wide eyelets. Now, I'm not sure, actually, because those holes are actually quite big. So, yeah. Hopefully that will look okay. Now, there are some black ones, I think. Well, they're not black, but they're quite dark, aren't they? So, yeah, maybe use one of those. This one. Do I want one of these, or do I want one of the really black ones? Let's have a look. Yeah, or maybe that way around. Yeah, okay, right. So, yeah, just going to get my crocodile now. I hope this is going to work because, oh, it's not going to work. Look, that hole is very, very big, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, that's such a shame. Right, okay. So, trying to think now. Yeah, that's definitely not going to work. Oh, it's not going to work on that one either. Oh, well, we'll scrap that idea. So, yep, we're not going to be using those, unfortunately. Oh, what a shame. What a shame. Right, just got this little bit of lace here. So, again, might as well just attach it to something because then it gets it off of the desks. So, yeah. Just, you know, attach it somewhere. So perhaps we'll put it up here. Actually, again, just going to use the Fabri-Tac. Oh, I should have brought my little heater up. It's in my living room from last night. But, yeah, it's beginning to get a bit chilly in here now. So, yeah. The dog was actually still asleep. She was just kind of in my bed, you know, before I put the sewing machine on. So, yeah, that's where she had been. We'd done the school run. And, yeah, that was the first time we'd done the school run with her. So, of course, my daughter absolutely loved, you know, going to the school with her. She's not really allowed in the school, but we just, you know, went into kind of the entrance and then said goodbye to my daughter from there. So, yeah. But she loved, you know, she loved going around to the school with her as much as we did. You know, was obviously hoping to see everyone she knew. We didn't really see anyone. Well, we did see people, but yeah, not kind of like her friends in her class or anything like that. Just people from other years who she doesn't necessarily really know. So I think she was a bit disappointed, but yeah. Right, so I've got this lace now. Just going to tie this around here, I think. I just thought the lace would be quite nice for these because, you know, we've gone for a vintagey finish or a vintagey look. I think the other ones, when we did them, we used the sari silk, which of course looked lovely. But yeah, I thought these would look good with the lace because we've gone for, you know, a more vintage kind of theme. Oh, this has got now something stuck on it. Oh, dear. Oh, let me just trim that off. It's like a little leaf or something. It's obviously got picked up from, you know, been laying around on the desk. Right, so that bow looks pretty, doesn't it? It's a little bit on the bulky side, it's got to be said, but that's fine. I'll just press that down there. And then here. Okay, that's that one. Looking good. Oh my goodness, how pretty is that? And then this one, I'm thinking, I mean, we could use lace again, but that's possibly a bit boring to use lace again unless we use a different colour. No, not that one. That would be weird, wouldn't it? Let me just have a look and see what else I've got kind of laying around. Got some ribbon. Could tie it with this. Don't know really whether this will be a nice bow or not, but give it a try. I don't think this is going to be quite the bow that I'm hoping for, but let's see. No, that just looks awful, doesn't it? Literally awful. It's just... Oh my goodness, that is horrible. What a horrible looking finish to that was. Yeah, not good. Right, so definitely not that one. Okay. Sorry, I'm just looking around to see what else I've got that might be kind of suitable. Unless we are just back to that bit of lace. Right, let me just see. Got some safari silk here. I mean, that's obviously quite a different colour to anything else that's on the tag, so it's probably a bit weird. And to be honest, that's a really, you know, big waste of that gorgeous colour sari silk, isn't it? You know, if it's not looking quite right, then I'll save that for a different project where it will look awesome. Right, let me just have a look through my other ribbons and just see. Oh, okay, I've got some organza, which I always love the organza, and that does normally make beautiful bows. So put that through there. Okay. 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 I say, oh, that normally makes beautiful bows. I mean, to be honest, that's not the best looking bow I've ever made, but it looks all right, doesn't it? I'm now not sure that I'm overly liking that over to the side, but oh well, we'll go for that. I mean, it's a bit of a different look, so yeah, it's always nice to have something that looks different, isn't it? So let's just cut those down like that. Okay, just put this away. Okay, right. So yeah, I'm just going to literally put a couple of dabs of the hot glue to hold this then, you know, in place. So yeah, like that. Okay, there we go. Oh, how pretty. How pretty does that look? So yeah, really, really pretty tags, aren't they? And they all do look pretty different, which, you know, is cool, isn't it? So yeah, tags from packaging. So I hope that you like the finished results. Like I say, I was just trying to get them to look very different to the ones that we had done previously. I think we have achieved that. You know, personally, I think maybe I preferred the other ones because they're perhaps more my cup of tea. But that being said, you know, I think these look really, really nice too. So yeah, let me know below which ones you preferred. I will try and link the original video as well, so that if you didn't see the original ones, you can obviously have a look at those and see what you think. So yeah, hope that you feel inspired, and you know, hope you like the tags that we made. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks then. Bye.